Well, here we are in our sunny little Thai, easy to maintain retirement home. The whole idea about the plan was to actually not get involved in large buildings or large gardens, but still we have quite a huge garden here, and in the process of getting all the land next door as well, which if that goes through will extend things a little bit. But we made a few design mistakes with the swimming pool, which is not really a swimming pool, it's a paddling pool for kids, grandchildren. I'm in the process of doing a bit of water chemistry, which I find particularly difficult. We've had algae and we've had calcium deposits, and the plan is to basically remove all the blue kind of cement and then retile it with easier to clean small blue tiles with the proper caulking between the tiles. House is fine, it's very small. Our tree collection is starting, bougainvilleas. Now don't ask me the names of all these trees because I haven't got a clue. Here's a I think it's called oh no, I've forgotten it now. We planted that one. We had a sister tree for that, but it died. That's a kind of a bushy thing. Succulent, usually grows on the side of hills, so it's having a lot of water, which might be good for it. I'm not sure, I don't think so. Here's my flame tree, as I call it, with little beautiful red flowers. Some more. Oh, these are palms. I planted these from seed. They seem to have grown. Got masses of frangipani, which in Thailand are called ilawadi, which produce a lot of fragrance at night and in the daytime. Temporary, but just for fun, is our chicken department, which I'm sure Tim will appreciate because he also keeps chickens. They haven't started laying, they're nearly 4 or 5 months here, and we fed them a lot of good stuff, vitamin B12 in the drink, lots of good food for them. So compared to the roadworthy chickens that straggle around in and around our area outside, these are very, very beautiful. Hi babies. So they're all hiding in there today. So normally they come out and say hi, but I think it's probably too hot for them. Temperature at the moment is about 32, 33. We're in the middle of the rainy season, which hasn't been too rainy. There we go. They sleep in there at night. It's a bit cramped, but they don't mind. I think in the fullness of time we'll probably build kind of a luxury chicken house with an automatic door. We don't have foxes or minks here, so we're lucky from that respect. That's my Heath Robinson pump room. I won't show you in there because the pump's still a bit of a rusting relic, a bit like me really. We've had some failures with, these look nice. There's going to be a huge swimming pool here one day in the future, and you'll drive to it through this sort of entrance of 2 date palms which aren't producing any dates. We've had some dates off our trees this year, which was a surprise because that doesn't normally happen in this climate. This is dead. Planted and replanted, changed the earth. I think when we take it apart carefully, we're going to find that the roots were contaminated with something, or bacteria, or whatever happens, mould. So in our little Mediterranean garden where we sit in the morning and have coffee, normally there's fountains, but I've taken out the fountain sections as I'm circulating the water after sort of putting chlorine and acid and stuff in it. Cyanuric acid. Look it up. So I can't say any topiary is going on here. It's a bit over there, but hedges are overgrowing. Well, we planted this garden just for fun, really. We built this quite splendid sala which is to protect one from the heat. Oh, look, there's a baby lotus growing in there. I think I'll get the staff to change the water today. It looks a bit cloudy. I designed that, and the Chang made it, which is very good. And we're going to put some white curtains around it, which will blow in the wind. This plant came from Sarad, who had it ever since he was a boy. Kun Sarad, our friend, who runs the road building company. And he was going to sort of find somewhere to put it when he changed his house, and he brought it here. So we had two of them, which is quite nice. These are bougainvillea. I think that's how you pronounce it. And under here, oh, very nice. Under here is some hydrangea. Pa's doing the clearing up the bougainvillea bits. And she comes every day. Lives across the road, which is very convenient with her husband, who's an expert in welding and building things. So we use him quite a lot. So here's our quite sturdy, and they haven't faded in the sun. So I don't know what chemical they're using to actually make the finish in colour. So these pictures represent Thailand as it used to be. There's quite a lot of vestigial remains of Thailand's past beauty and rural life. Modernisation hasn't really affected the spirit of the people who are quite pleasant. I've been here 10 years on and off now, and I certainly am enjoying myself. Don't see many of these chaps around now, these oxen, bullock or whatever they are. Or the bullock carts. The bullock carts have all been made into tables with the central section of the axle and a few radial bits of remains of radial spokes. You don't see many people carrying stuff like that anymore. But Thailand is still an absolutely beautiful place. Pristine, mostly. Well, the birds got the dates. Well done, birds. I don't think they were going to turn out to be very much. They're quite small. But it was a surprise, quite a nice surprise to have the dates growing, because it means there's sort of a male and a female as a pollinator. So here's where we sit with friends, having cups of tea. There used to be a rose garden in here, but it was an experiment that went completely wrong, so I took it all out and put this kind of floor thing in here. There's Knock doing her Knock thing of a bit of sweepy dusting. Darling, say hi.
Hi, hello.
It's anybody who cares to watch, say how you like your garden.
Oh yes, it's today is very hot. It's a lovely garden. It's small, not big.
Natural.
Natural, yes.
Yeah. So I'll just go over here, which is sort of the business end of things, where I have my office. And there's a small kitchen at the back, but we intend to build a huge kitchen when time allows and enthusiasm. I'm a bit tired of building. I have these two roadside street lamp poles, putting in some security illumination and CCTV at some point. I have the bases for them already installed. This is another little plantery, a few trees in here. These fern-like trees, I mean, we had one, it grew quite well. It went up to about 10-12 feet, and then it died, and then we found out that they don't last very long, but they grow sort of with a sort of brocade of sweet little kind of ferny things, and then they pass on. So we've got two of these, so I hope these ones live a little bit more than the other ones. Some monkey caterpillars have munched away on these succulent leaves. Look at it, look at what they've done. Oh my god, buggers. I think they've been maced. This system here, it's got a bit of grass growing on it, which it shouldn't have, is the triple water purification and disembodification plant. In other words, it treats the grey water and the black water I kind of ham-fistedly designed it to make it very efficient. It hasn't been any trouble whatsoever. We have a sort of solar-powered vent system. Finally, there'll be one of my large lights on here going right up with a central pipe to evacuate any bad air that comes from there, because you have to watch out for hydrogen sulfide eating concrete. But there's two concrete, very deep, 9-10 feet, well, maybe more than that actually, probably about 15-20 feet under here, two soakaway rings going down into the soil, and then there's the unmentionable one over there, which basically just turns it into water and detritus and passes it to here. So under here are all the pipes and things. Whoop, that's it. Works quite well, because you have to have your own grey and black water system. There's going to be a huge kitchen at the back with a living room. All this roof's coming off at one point, and we're going to replace it with some proper tiles. It's a little bit like a sort of train station. I sort of call it a train station. Over here we'll have a living room, outdoor showers to the side of it, a huge dining room with a vaulted ceiling, and a professional stainless steel kitchen where the water tank is at the moment. This is our little tiny maid's kitchen where we cook probably nearly every day now. Don't bother to go out, there's nothing worth eating outside. Kind of a little utilitarian kitchen, and peek inside the fridge, of course. Yes, resting. Last night's effort. Wonderful Dundee cake, made traditional standards. Knock's also been making lots of lovely yum yum yum. We sun dry our own tomatoes. We're in the process of growing them again as the seasons change. I have my little tiny kind of like workshop storage area in here. There's medical stuff, technical stuff, and foodie stuff, of course. And for all the technical people watching this, my antenna array comes in here to arms of a dipole, and then there's a balun, and the feed goes into my radio system for shortwave reception. Quite interesting if you're into that sort of nonsense. Cacti. And there's the end of my antenna. Around this little house of ours we've put high voltage wires which we don't arm, and I think the ladder's short circuiting one at the moment, but if we go away we'll probably have the electric fence smacker on it. There's one part of our planned multi-port drainage system in here which I've put in for the grey water to the disposal point, and there's this magnificent tree which the flowers keep on falling down on the floor all the time. Then it produces these black beans which you probably might be able to make out. Not edible, of course, but they seed in a most peculiar way. But for this part of the season we have the most absolutely magical, beautiful orange burst. And I had actually cut it back and lost one section of it. But so that's it really. Retirement home by the sea. We're 1.5 kilos from the sea. They're renewing all the roads, so I don't have to go off my scooter down potholes. When all this is working, it's quite sweet really, with a lovely view at night from the house. They're improving things as we go. The house is very sturdy, made from Q-con, which is a kind of a brick which doesn't trap the heat. And then we have these half-fillet folding windows, which although they were quite, we had to wait 2 years to get them actually. There we go. That's our little pantry in here for knocking up a bit of whatever. Drinks and things. So it's quite pleasant. I designed this point to be basically down the central axis with the offset, because the garden's a bit of a weird shape, it's almost triangular. designed it to kind of be a central focal point in line with the feng shui. Our bedroom, what a mess. And the living room, and our small side room. Underneath the house is dry cellars, which I've installed, and all our doors are beautiful teak wood, double-sided. It's double the cost, but there you go. So they have this sort of classical tropics look one side and the flat panel look the other side. So we've had some really, really good subcontractors working for us over the last 2 years to do this. It's been quite a labour of love. And that's it. That's a walk around. And the house shows you the west, and you can see the clouds bubbling up over there, over the mountains. About 150 kilometres away, something like that, is Burma. And we have beautiful sunsets as the the sun goes overhead and goes in that direction for 2 times of the year, because we're 12 degrees north of the equator. So it's now coming back down, and it'll be almost overhead today, but not so hot as the first season when it passes towards you guys to give you a summer. So I hope everybody is happy and well. And I would say that moving to Thailand is a very, very good thing, because they have a very, very good handle on preventing COVID from spreading fast. They stamped on it very, very quickly. And it's only been a few aeroplane loads of Egyptian tourists, which have caused a minor outbreak in Rayong so far. But that's it. I won't use up all the video. No doubt this is long and boring, but bye-bye from me.